I recently found out my granny is a doomsday prepper. It's not a joke, it's true. And we're live.
You are now listening to Radio Rufus.
Yes, you dodgy dudes. Welcome back to another dastardly episode of Radio Rufus, and it's a first-time foursome in the office. Feels like an office orgy coming on. Rubbing is racing, and we're certainly going straight for the finish line this week, as I'm joined by three sweaty men under the lights tonight. It's bright. Fight the good fight. I'm Rufus from Radio Rufus, the greatest show on the earth, where we do the latest and best news, sports, games. It's your traditional radio show with an urban twist.
That's why you got us on.
Yeah. Bit of diversity.
You're already bringing the.
What I meant is we record in a fairly run-down office block, so it's gritty, it's down to earth, and I'm joined by my personal fluffer, Aidan Rafferty. Say hello to the people, Aidan.
Hello.
And it gives me great pleasure of a non-sexual nature to introduce the first couple of internet daddies to ever follow me on TikTok. I don't know. If you guys knew that. I was gassed when I got that notification.
Well, so Andrew had nothing to do with that, because I was the only one operating the account. It looked like it was a great thing.
It's my first time seeing you ever.
Yeah, he actively dislikes your stuff.
I'm very upset to be.
He thinks you're a prick. Yeah.
No, I believed. I was the day one.
Yeah.
I was gassed when I got that notification because I'd seen those reels of you making fun of fat people, and I was like,
These are my boys.
That's your type of people from day one.
yeah. That's right. It's the Boys Gone Wild from the Boys Gone Wild podcast. Horatio Gould, Andrew Kirwan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Got your surname wrong.
Yeah, that's close
It happens a lot though. Andrew, no one can quite get it.
Yeah, it's Kirwan. I get a lot of Kerwin.
Did you say Kieran?
You said
No,
Kirwan.
I said
It's a very common
Kirwan.
thing.
Kirwan.
Kirwan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirwan. If you flip it round, it's wanker.
That's fucking
Andrew,
class.
Drew, and Kirwan.
Did anyone catch on to that at
At
school?
school, yes, they
Yeah,
did.
that's
Yes.
genius.
Jimmy is at school at Aidan Raff.
I'd Raffa cake for a while, and that was before I was like really into them.
Yeah, he has a Jaffa cake problem as well. So
Yeah,
You look
recently
like a man with a Jaffa cake.
I started eating them in the
Is that too
shower.
rude at the start?
It's not at
So
all.
sorry about Andrew. That was incredibly rude.
Sorry.
he does.
It's always ruder when you take loads of offence for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so sorry about
Yeah,
that.
no, I appreciate that.
We're not a team at all.
We can joke around, but he does eat them in the shower.
I did for a while, yeah.
What was going on there?
I was basically just in a rush to work one day, and I had no time for breakfast. And as I was getting into the shower, I was like, let's just have a Jaffa cake. And then I was still chewing it as the water started hitting me, and I was like, this feels good. I'm fucking into this. Like,
And you're from Northern Ireland, right?
I'm from
Those
the
two
north of
aren't
Ireland.
No, I wasn't. It was a
Normalised
segue. It was a
Japanese
segue.
shower stuff.
We've been through a lot.
Horrible.
We've
Yeah.
been through a lot.
I don't think that was like historically something that we're
You're a
up
Troubles
to.
baby, right?
I was born in '99, the Good Friday days.
So two years up.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. But the Troubles weren't actually fucking. I had no experience of it.
Okay, so the Jaffa cake eating is something else.
It had nothing
It's
to do with the Troubles.
your national-
I don't
Right,
know.
I was trying to work it
trying
out.
to,
Well, Northern Ireland has changed a lot in like the last 30 years.
It has, to
It
be
used
fair.
to be, a lot more about bombs, and now
Jaffa cakes.
Soggy Jaffa cake.
Were you suggesting that he was drowning his childhood trauma in a sort of vaguely citrusy non-biscuit?
I was suggesting was, I think it's the trouble growing up in a tense environment such as late 90s Northern Ireland probably leads to
It can express
strange-
itself in odd ways, such as
That is true, to be fair.
soggy cakes.
This happened like 6 months ago. I wasn't out of the womb fucking eating Jaffa cakes in the bath.
Hey, you keep up the fight in whichever way you hope.
Yeah, it's a good way to keep it going.
This recording came about
Yeah.
because Horatio texted me out of the blue and he goes, I've shot this pilot.
Right. Don't like the smug look you get.
Yeah.
I'm
Doesn't
doing
believe
an
in the
impression
project
of you.
already.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's like, I've shot this pilot. It's fucking great. And
It's pretty good.
we'd love to come on and talk about it.
Yeah.
I had a watch last night. I was
seen it?
I was immediately on board because in the first 2 minutes there's a joke about British soldiers getting captured and offering Nazis blowjobs in exchange for freedom.
Yeah, I thought you'd like it.
And have you had issues pitching this?
We didn't pitch
We're
it
not
anyway.
pitching
Oh,
it.
fuck,
No.
class.
That's the whole thing about it.
You just
To be
want to do
honest,
it yourselves?
To be honest, I
much.
think this is semi-pointless us promote. Like, this is quite a small thing to be promoting.
Yeah, it's not ready either.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had a quick watch, and I think nobody cares.
That's we were talking.
We came here for honest feedback, essentially.
Yeah,
I like the piss goblins sketch
Oh,
at the
yeah,
end.
yeah.
I was a big fan of
Me in a
it.
gimp suit.
Yeah.
Not a piss.
Yeah, we made it basically because obviously when we followed you, we were making lots of phone sketches, but I think we probably just got a bit tired of making phone sketches because it felt like the best sketch makers in the world and the worst sketch makers in the world are still just filming on their phone, and it felt like I wanted it to be a stepping stone to something.
Yeah.
And then it never came, and no one asked us to make a sketch show, so we're like, fuck it, we're going to make it ourselves. And now we've made it with our own money. No one asked us to make this.
No.
And I can get like literally no one asked us.
It's clear.
No one asked us, but
Is it going to be behind a paywall?
No,
Straight out.
no. It's just it's a sunk cost. We're doing it just so we like at least have made something.
Yeah.
Something like that's
So
framed like landscape.
Bit of fun, passion project.
I don't know if this is just convenient timing, but it looks a lot like an SNL UK audition.
Yep.
The timing's odd. The timing's suspicious. I don't know if that helps or hinders us.
I think it was meant
be
to
honest.
come out 9 months ago, genuinely.
Right.
So it's
We finished filming a year and a couple of months
ago. It is annoying that we've been trying to get it out, and now we're going to get it out literally as SNL is on the air. It does look quite bitter.
It looks pathetic in some ways.
And a lot of the reason we did it was like no one's making sketch for TV anymore.
Yeah.
We're trying to fly the British
now-
flag.
Yeah.
And it's been flown for us.
I think
Now everyone's making it on TV now.
sometimes people have the same idea at the same time. And some people just have an enormous budget and Sky TV, and some people don't.
Was that Confucius who said that?
Yeah, that's from that's straight from the scrolls, that one. Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Powerful stuff.
Found that in a fucking tomb. Yeah.
But this is basically pointless. But I thought it was quite. I quite like the idea of doing like a promo run for something that.
It's like doing a promo.
Do you know what I mean?
30-second video.
Yeah, if you did that. You were talking about a TikTok that bombed earlier. You could be doing a promo run for that if you want
Get
to
out
get.
there.
I'll promote it now.
Yeah.
So I made a TikTok. I actually took it down so you can't watch it. So,
Promoting a private TikTok.
This is an
is what
entirely pointless
this is what I wanna
podcast.
do.
Ours
I like
might not
this.
even be out yet. You've got removed.
I didn't think it would flop, but it absolutely did. It was me doing the Chubby Bunny challenge, but instead of marshmallows, it was snus. So you say Chubby Bunny and then you put one in. I retched for about 5 minutes. I got to 5, and then I spat them all out on camera, and I uploaded it, and it didn't do very well.
That sounds like a great idea in theory, though.
It's a brilliant. I posted that thinking easy 5 mil. Easy. It was an easy 5K.
You said the Chubby Bunny challenge as if you were saying, I don't know, Friends, when you like something that everyone knew.
I feel like everyone does know the Chubby Bunny.
never-
Usually the only
I know,
that I met
clearly
that doesn't.
we're too old for it, but what I have found interesting about you Rufus, I do think, I respect you a lot, you're a great comedian, but your inspirations, right, are all kind of like Mongy YouTubers, right?
Yes,
Those
yes,
are the people
yes.
Who are your heroes?
Yeah, like,
I'm
normally-
just finding about you now.
So what, you like grew up watching like Peep Show, The Thick of It,
Yeah, The Office,
You know,
sitcoms, that
Dark
kind of
Maggie's Dark
thing.
Places,
Yeah.
Mighty
Well-
Bush.
Yeah.
And I think it was like, who's the free kick guy?
Yeah.
Chris MD.
Yeah, Chris MT.
Yeah, I was going to say that, like, my comedic heroes. my comedic inspirations is basically people doing the Salt and Ice challenge in 2013.
What's that?
Well, the ALS bucket challenge. That was our era.
I don't think he's talking about that.
No,
No,
it's different
sorry.
different ice related challenge format, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Basically, you wouldn't believe this, but if you cover your arm completely in salt, like you're trying like you're trying to brine a hog for preservation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've got that bit.
Right? So you lather it in just completely way too much
In
salt.
like a tub, or is it enough to just
well,
sprinkle
you could,
over?
well, that's sort of up to you, I think.
Okay.
And then you put a layer of ice over that, and then you sort of sandwich it between your arms. So the other arm then goes on top. Right? It basically gives you horrendous 3rd-degree burns.
What the fuck's the point in that?
Funny?
Yeah. Well, and then
right.
what's the kind of like, what's the big wow moment in the
The big
video?
wow moment is look at my arm, it's fucked.
Wait, so when they take it off,
When they take it off, it basically looks like a crocodile skin.
and then young Rufus creasing over this.
This is your
right?
comedic hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that,
Are
and
you going like this
Fuck
while
me.
laughing?
it was that, and like FIFA 15 pack opening.
What about the D's nuts has to be up there as well.
And I do genuinely. I'll back this to the hilt. It's been a controversial opinion on
Yeah.
this show. I think D's nuts is the funniest meme and the most important meme of all time.
Oh, well, I think you have better judgment on this than we do, so I do trust your.
Why is it the
You
most
seem to be a bit
important
of a-
name? Educate me.
The amount. So these nuts dropped.
These nuts.
These
right.
rather than D's.
No, D's.
These nuts.
There isn't a these nuts that was like
You
a
really
precursor.
did you even have the internet? That's
I
me.
know,
going out
Aidan.
there.
I know a bit.
you know
I know
about
D's nuts. I know D's nuts.
Sorry.
Come on.
Now
guys.
I'm getting embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know D's
I know
nuts.
D's nuts. You're like my weird uncle.
This is canon. You know D's nuts.
I do know D's nuts.
He knows D's nuts.
But
He
what
knows D's
context is D's nuts used in?
So the original
Please.
video. We'll do a full chronology.
Please.
Why don't we?
Yeah.
I remember when it dropped. I was in year 7.
nuts. You're nuts.
We are nuts, or yeah.
Good stuff.
Classic comedy. Come on.
Come on.
My nuts didn't drop. Not all at once. They slowly descended
Me too.
over the course of many
And
years.
one lot longer than the other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one a bit
Left.
more than one. A
Has to
bit,
be.
Left or right?
left one's always a bit lower, I think.
Yeah,
I
think
found.
so too.
You're kind of like all balls though.
Yeah.
What's wrong with them?
So Aidan has very small nuts and a fat hog, and I'm quite the reverse.
Yeah.
Well, we got.
We got the same thing.
Yeah. I got quite big.
Big cock, small balls.
I don't have a small cock.
Small cock.
No.
Big balls.
It's just not. It's nothing.
In comparison,
It's nothing to shout. Yeah.
It's one of my
Doesn't
favorite
shout
kids TV programs. That big cock, little cock.
What happens in that?
Anyway, D's nuts drops.
Yeah.
2015. I'm amped up immediately. I'm like 13 years old.
Right.
This
This
is
is just before Brexit, right?
Yeah. So
I'm
this
just
is
trying to socially
the world was a beautiful place.
Right.
Yeah.
The only place that was invaded at the time was the Donbass region of Ukraine. But when you're 13, you don't really care.
Yeah.
So
So this is coalition years, right?
yeah, coalition years.
it's like
Deputy.
prime Gangnam Style years.
No, this is
Right.
this
Okay.
is
We're going for different angles. I feel.
Yeah. I feel like this is suiting Rufus's link.
we've had years of classics get released. 2012 Gangnam Style. 2013 What Does the Fox Say?
Oh wow, yeah.
I'm
okay.
still thinking. I'm still trying to work it out.
yeah.
The next year we get D's nuts. Yeah.
Okay.
And it comes out. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You say D's nuts at school for the next 3 weeks, maybe. Immediately, how the roof's coming off.
And it's in any context, or is it when you're asked a specific
The
question?
original video, he's
Yeah.
doing a prank call where he calls his mate and he goes, "Something came in the mail today," and then his mate goes, "What?" And he goes, "D's nuts."
D's nuts, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
There
I
we
feel
go.
like that's mainly only funny in your boarding school.
I was not at boarding school at the time, so fuck you.
Yeah. It's
I,
not- it's-
I was
it's-
in an
it's a- it's
extremely
taking your
expensive day
mum-
school.
Do you think was there ever doze nuts? Has they ever changed the sort
Well,
of
there's been
intent?
so many variations
Yeah,
over the years. This is what I'm saying about its cultural impact. You wouldn't have Ligma balls without D's nuts.
Right.
That's a fair
You
point.
That's a controversial thing to say, but I like it.
I've traced the genealogy back. I had to go to the National Archives to find this stuff. You know those old programs where they go look at some dusty old book?
Yeah.
Yeah. You must watch a lot of them for Film versus History, I guess.
Of course. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
but the thing is, when you're a grandparent, you will be talking about this, and it will be.
Well, I consider
record.
myself a preeminent global expert on the history of D's nuts.
I don't think anyone's going to fight you on that.
You wouldn't have Sugma Dick. You wouldn't have.
I didn't even know that one was a thing.
There we go.
Suck my dick.
Sometimes its impact is not properly respected.
Sugma, or is it suck my or suck?
Yeah, you can say, "Oh, mate, I'm feeling really bad today. I've got a case of Sugma," and they go, "What's Sugma?" And you go, "Sugma Dick."
Imagine Dragons.
Imagine Dragons. Do you
The
like
band Imagine Dragons is because of D's nuts the me.
Imagine dragging D's nuts across your face.
Right.
Yeah.
It was the easiest
Yeah.
there.
Nice.
Well done, boys.
You know the format CD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it?
CD's nuts. You know. Yeah. So you wouldn't have any of this stuff without D's
Yeah.
nuts, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is sort of the rich comedy tapestry that you.
I still think it's really funny.
I'm more of a
No one is
fan.
questioning that.
It's been over a decade.
I'm definitely more of a fan of the splinter groups that went after it than the original.
But you have to respect the original because you wouldn't have that.
That's
you wouldn't
true.
have all those Oasis hits without the Beatles. D's nuts is the Beatles of memes. Like it really is.
Thank you.
That's nice. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway, I did a bit of googling about you lads.
Okay.
Is it true that you work in financial crime, Andrew,
I used to.
or is that you haven't updated your LinkedIn for quite some time?
Yeah, I get a lot of messages on LinkedIn actually.
Bragging.
People trying it. Yeah. It's one of my main social medias. I used to work there as of until December last year
Yeah.
He just quit the day job.
for a bank.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Big thing.
I was investigating like human trafficking rings, money laundering rings.
Genuinely.
Genuinely.
That's
And
a
they're doing
It was
Boys
working from
Gone
home.
Wild. And they do
For very little money. I just don't want. Sorry.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't serious.
Yeah, because when you say it like that, it sounds like fucking.
No, it wasn't important.
You're kicking down doors. You're like you were basically doing.
I wasn't on the front line.
No.
So I was kind of looking at broad financial.
Did the
issues.
podcast ever get in the way of it?
Yes.
It did.
Well, this was a big thing.
I got a year-long disciplinary because I called a police officer on the podcast.
Oh my fucking
It was
God.
crazy. It's probably the maddest episode.
You can go and watch it on The Boys Gone Wild.
I think it's Friends Reunion.
We called it Friends Reunion because I was terrified I was going to get sacked.
Yeah, it wasn't like he called what? He
Yeah.
called a police officer what?
Yeah. We were doing it.
you're right to be terrified.
I used to have a job where I communicate with the police to give them information. What you had to do is you said
You were a fucking narc.
You were a professional rat.
What a prick.
Yeah, essentially.
Oh yeah, you were telling on those human traffickers. I mean, that was.
Yeah, I was the
snitch.
whole monitor
Mate,
of
come
the
on.
bank. Yeah.
You're literally a professional prefect.
It sounds like you could have been one of those people that act as like the fucking decoy in the sting operations for
Yeah.
pedophiles.
Well, essentially.
You're a bad guy. Yeah.
Well, let me finish the story. So part of that was we send them an email, and because of encryption, you've got to send them a text message with the password to get into that. So I used to have a whole load of police officers' numbers on my phone. We did it on our personal phones. That changed after me.
Yeah.
But on the podcast, Horatio and I are having a conversation about autocorrect and whether because it changes fuck to duck. Well, if you change to anything. So I got up my phone to go and have a look, and then just instinctively went on my text messages. And the last text I sent was to a counter-terrorism police officer in Manchester. It was a woman.
Yeah.
So I typed in, and it didn't change it to anything. But instinctively, I just pressed send, and then so that police officer just received the word at about 4 p.m. on a Friday. For a bit, they didn't realize it was me. I then panicked, deleted the message,
Yeah.
and then I sent an apology to the wrong police officer who went, "What the fuck is that?"
Sorry for calling you.
Sorry for calling you. I was testing
your
out
back.
I was testing out autocorrect my mate. They had no idea what I was fucking talking about. And then it all went quiet for a bit. But then it came up about 6 months later when I had to then text the same police officer another password, and she went, "That's the one who called me."
You're the call me.
Yeah.
What?
So yes, it has got in the way with work.
But surely you had the footage if you did that live in the
It was
podcast.
meant to be at work.
I was meant to be at work. I was on the clock at work.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
It was a very dense web of lies I was spinning unsuccessfully.
It was sort of like, it's a very dull version of Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Right? You had a dual life.
Yeah. The worst of both worlds. Do a podcast at
Like
night, call a police officer a day. It's not catchy. But yeah. I had a disciplinary process, and they didn't believe that it was an accident, because they were like, surely you know this person. No one just says the word because you were doing an autocorrect thing.
Yeah, they thought.
But I had literal footage of it to
you
prove
couldn't show it.
but I didn't want to show it.
Whenever you're still in employment, you kind of have to act as if you're kind of. It feels like you have to be a closet podcaster.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
100%.
kind of hard to like write a LinkedIn post and then rank the top 5 assassinations a few days later.
Absolutely, yeah.
It doesn't really work.
It doesn't work.
I'm on tour this summer with my debut show, Rice Age, and tickets are absolutely flying. We've already sold out 3 dates, added 4 new shows, and upgraded 2 venues. So make sure you get your tickets while they're available. If you like songs about Bonnie Blue, stories about Big John, and are up for a night of raucous banter, this might just be the show for you. See you there. As part of my never-ending quest to quit podcasting and become a rock star, I've just released a 5-track EP. It's called Small Pond Sessions, contains heartfelt songs like one about the time when I got ghosted and had to go mini-golfing with Aidan Rafferty, and bangers like one about the time when I got heartbroken by a Swedish princess. Genuinely true. If you like my other music, you'll like this, so make sure you check it out. Thank you. What penalties do you get from a year-long disciplinary?
No pay rise, and I wasn't allowed to move. I had to stay in the same team, weirdly, so they had to have me.
Oh, so the penalty is you've just got to do your job.
Essentially. But I had to keep communicating with police officers for another year.
Yeah.
So
Sort of like exposure therapy.
it was, yeah.
I spotted some financial crime this weekend. I know
did?
this is your area of expertise. Sure. You know it costs £7 to drop someone off at Heathrow.
I didn't. I'm just surprised that you're offended at that.
It costs money to drop people off at the airport. I don't have a car, so I never knew this.
If you're just dropping off a friend and you go through
It costs money now.
that is silly.
It's £3 in Belfast.
Yeah, it's Heathrow's 7 because it's a better airport and it's in London.
Controversial.
People
Most people get out of
the
the boot in Belfast as well.
Gatwick, £10.
Really?
For Gatwick.
Actually?
Yeah.
Drop off.
To drop off. It used to be free.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, can you get some police
I'll
officers
get some of
on
my
that?
old contacts on it.
Some of those old cunts.
Who I haven't called a cunt.
Yeah.
You also got scammed by an Arab.
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
I actually genuinely did get scammed this week. So you might notice if you're watching on video at home, that 3 of these mics are the same and 1 of them isn't.
Yeah, I did notice that. Actually.
Yeah.
The eagle-eyed.
So I tried to buy another one on Amazon, but they didn't have any new ones. So I had to buy a used one. This turns up and the instructions are all in Arabic. So I was like, they probably don't sell that in Britain.
For that microphone.
No. I tried to buy one like ours.
Yeah. What instructions do you need?
None.
Yeah.
Because it's plug and play.
It's-
So that
yeah,
doesn't
it is.
matter at all.
Right.
But it did have me suspicious.
Gotcha.
Where has this come from then? And so I got the mic out. Turns out what it didn't come with was the thing that attaches it to the microphone stand. So it was just a standalone
Right.
mic.
And it was also about a 10-year-old version of this mic.
Yeah. And I think it's no takesies backsies.
Whereabouts did it come from? Do you think it
Well-
came from Saudi Arabia?
Right.
Or
It could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Does any
be
of those
come from
guys,
Iran.
they do podcasts out there?
Saudi Arabians.
They have a
I think
cheap-
it's quite a tough sphere to have have a hot takes podcast.
I reckon we
hot take Saudi Arabia. I think that's quite a
Hot
short
takes.
season.
It is warm out there.
Yeah.
Come on.
But that's not a hot take.
It's
is it?
not itself, no.
I mean, the hot take would be saying it's cold out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Taliban are pretty opinionated. They could do with one.
Yeah, I
It's-
guess
it's-
so. But I
it's-
guess to them, saying like women don't deserve the vote, that's not a hot take to them.
It's
It's not, to be
yeah.
fair,
obvious.
yeah.
Yeah.
The,
Oh,
the
do you
hot
think- do you
take,
think
the
if-
hot take would be we should school women, and they'd be like,
World star. Yeah.
That's like a fucking white knight.
"Oh,
Yeah.
we got to stop these edgelord comedians."
Yeah. That would be the edge out there, wouldn't it? If you went out there and you go, just really think people should we shouldn't have 13-year-old boys like assassinating people in public.
It'd be grannies crying, going, you know.
Infecting the minds of the youth.
Maybe we should bring back
I would
Windows.
love. Well, you know how people start these podcast networks. Maybe we should reach out to the Taliban, and we have a segment.
Talibanta.
We have a segment. Our show is called. We got a Talibanta segment on this show.
Oh, do you actually?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought you didn't give me enough there, but I realised that.
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
the name of
sense.
one of the
You
segments.
just seem like a really big fan.
Maybe they should start their own Talibanta.
Yeah.
I think so. I think a bit of entertainment because I feel have the Taliban sort of the control. It's chilled out a bit.
Oh, you think that? But
No, I'm not. Sorry, I don't mean chilled out. I mean their grip on power is pretty absolute now.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is.
I
Yeah.
think-
Is that
'cause I'm-
chilling out?
two
No,
weeks
I mean,
2 weeks
I'm-
ago, they legalized beating your wife again.
Oh, so I said chill out.
As long as you don't break any
Hold on.
bones.
I think there's sort of a Pax Talibana. Do you know what I mean? Going on in because they now they're not. No one's trying to take them over anymore. They're kind of being left alone. It's all going on their
Yeah,
own.
they're a
It
bit
just
bored.
means that it's like it's only the women at home who are getting beaten up. The rest it seems to be a bit more chilled out. I think I wouldn't
be
know.
time.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get some local women on to have a chat.
Well, I watch a lot of fundamentalist Islamic content on my TikTok. For some reason, I'm just really into it. And there's this guy who does a podcast with his wife who wears a burqa and she's not allowed to speak. And she writes.
That might have been where we got the mic.
She writes on a whiteboard.
That's
and
that's his wife's mic.
so it's sort of like Shag Married Annoyed, but the other. So I mean, I guess they're not trying to make jokes; they're being quite serious. But he speaks, and then she doesn't speak. She writes on her whiteboard, but everything she says is more problematic than what he says. So he'll say something like, women shouldn't show their wrist. She's like, women shouldn't wear belts because it implies the shape of the body, and
They might have a pelvis.
yeah, exactly. And it's like fucking hell. It's amazing that she is even edgier
I
than
think
him.
we should do an episode like that where you wear a burqa and you can only write it down.
Yeah, I need to wear a belt though.
Because do you get a lot of FOMO over Hajj going to Mecca?
FOMO's an interesting word.
Because I get a lot of it. I think it's so because they've recently redone the place, and I get
It's not a conservatory.
I saw it. I saw that episode of Grand Designs actually.
Yeah.
Over
budget.
I genuinely get quite sincerely get chills because I see on TikTok and there's these when they
You're a
out,
voyage man. You've always wanted to.
Yeah,
go
and
on some
the
sort of-
music. I just like the idea. The moment when they walk
music.
out for the first. Yeah, because they like the
call to prayer.
Yeah. But it's and they've edited it beautifully. There's a really nice footage of someone walking out and seeing the thing in the middle. for the
It is-
first
it-
time.
yeah.
He starts crying, and I'm like, imagine believing in something that much. Like I really, and I'm not allowed to go because you have to be Muslim to go. But that makes you want to go more. It's like a.
Yeah, you need
know
to
what I mean?
convert.
There's
You're
like an
thinking about it.
exclusive-
It's
well,
when- it's
it's one place I'd love to.
when your crush
See.
has a boyfriend, isn't it? That's what the Hajj feels like.
I feel like I'm missing out though. Genuinely.
You can convert and then unconvert afterwards.
I know that just it feels.
You might make a
pretty-
few enemies.
Yeah, it feels. They don't
It's a bit of
fuck
a
around with
wanky
that.
sort of
Yeah.
workaround, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
No, I'd love to rotate around that queue with you someday.
Is there like
If
a,
I'm doing it and I see you over there, I'll be like, no way.
I get it. We'll be there at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you can go
Yeah.
when you want. It's not 24 hours.
it might be like
it
Pure
not?
Gym where you can
No,
bring a friend twice a month.
Everyone goes at the same time, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't
That's
he-
why it's so bloody
How,
busy.
how long? Well, I thought it was busy because everyone's going all the time.
it's so they can charge more for the hotel.
Yeah, it's £10 drop off.
Peak
It's like
season.
Gatwick.
Well, we'll have to pay the £10 at Gatwick and then £10
Well, I'm not going
in Mecca as
Not
well.
worth it
because I'm actually more Jewish than I am Muslim, so I'm not going.
Just about.
Okay, well let's get into the news of the week, should we, chaps?
Yes.
And we start the news today with bad news for anyone who plans on getting shot. As a man from Bridgeport, Connecticut, has been shot in the back by a police officer. He was one of 30 men involved in a street brawl, and police footage shows him armed with a vape, bottle of booze, and a Nokia brick. That's
Right.
what he brought to the street brawl.
Right.
So the local police swept in and attempted to arrest as many of the men as possible for public disruption. The man, Deshaun Best, pulled a handgun. You laughed at that.
Because it's D's nuts.
good stuff.
I thought you were going to do a D's nuts joke. But
Yeah, okay. The man, D's nuts, pulled a handgun and ran from the officers, with one policewoman, Erin Perotta, giving chase on foot. Given that he was armed, she decided that, fuck it, I'll just have a pot shot. You don't know, he's got a handgun.
Yeah.
Let's have a go. She iced him straight in the back, leaving him bleeding with severe internal injuries. But it gets worse for this bloke because he had to wait 10 minutes longer for an ambulance than normal because the first one was taken by the officer who chased him because she was having a mild anxiety attack.
really?
The one that shot him.
Yeah.
There's better places to fire a warning shot as well than into someone's fucking spine.
Yeah, they hit him
What
straight in the
was she?
kidneys.
Did she have social anxiety?
I think she was.
The crowd was just really concerning her.
Yeah.
She just shot him out
Oh, yeah,
of the
I think
back.
maybe-
It sounds like she's just out of breath after the chase.
Yeah.
This is her quote from her. She goes, "I'm fine, but I just needed to get out of there." Another officer described her as visibly hysterical, and she had a bit of blood on her uniform. We can all guess whose blood it is, I think.
Yeah. Did the guy survive?
So the guy died
Right, there you go.
as he was undergoing treatment. So he got the second ambulance. You know when he just missed the train?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got to wait 10 minutes. For
But you
that.
know, mental health and physical health, they often, it's easy to spot physical health, but mental health can often be far worse.
You think she might have had a right here?
Well, I'm saying that, she's the real victim of the
I'm
story.
proud of her for speaking up.
I mean, if she's feeling to the point where she's having suicidal ideation,
Yeah.
she'd rather be
She's
him.
not. She said, "I'm fine." That is a direct quote from her.
At what point did she
could be
say I'm
masking.
fine? Before
Oh,
she got on the
this was in the
ambulance?
police report afterwards. She was like, "Oh, I'm completely fine," but I just felt a bit
Yeah.
claustrophobic, maybe a bit
Right.
cramped. Yeah.
Surely at some point the paramedics have to step in and fucking pull rank a bit.
Well, there's a man leaking blood.
He's literally had a fucking cap popped in his ass and she's out of breath.
Yeah, but she's got high cortisol, so
Which is bad before sleep, right?
Yeah.
yeah, she might have had a restless night.
Yeah, exactly.
Early shift the next morning.
God
We don't know
forbid.
her story.
Yeah.
Key worker.
So the bullet had damaged his liver and right kidney, but the official report didn't say whether the 10-minute delay may have contributed to this man's death.
I probably did.
Yeah, I would say it's
that
up there.
stage, yeah. I don't know much about liver and
We
kidneys.
can't know, though.
You'd
so
be
it's
claiming that
pointless
as the
to
family
stipulate.
members all day long.
Oh, the family members were fuming in the
Yeah.
press. They
Right.
really had a go, I think.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
if anything, they stepped over the line a little bit.
Yeah.
They were accusing of corruption, actually. Inside picking favourites, all this sort of stuff. Ridiculous stuff, I know.
I used to always think whenever I was at school that if I had some sort of injury, I'd maybe get a day off the next day. And I remember pretending that I had a sprained ankle to my mum. She took me into A&E and I was sat in the waiting room and some fella came in and he was sat beside me with 2 fingers missing. That's exactly how this feels.
Did you go first?
He was, I got to the stage where I was like, you know what, maybe if I'm called first, I'll just give him the wee nod.
Oh,
Did you?
He got called instantly.
Right.
With the fingers missing, though, I feel like it sort of solves itself. You can't like Pritt stick.
They don't
Yeah,
go back.
they're gone.
You can't Pritt stick. Do you even
Yeah.
need
True.
to be in A&E?
I mean, the amount of blood that was pissing out of his fingers might have been the issue.
Or you can just can't you just weld those off with a soldering iron?
Yeah,
You know,
you
it's-
can.
Yeah.
Seal it
Just
up.
burn the tips of them.
They should have done that to this guy. He would have been sound. Questions were also raised about whether the man had a gun at all or if his vape had been mistaken for a pistol. Which,
It might have been one of those old. Remember the
Get
vapes
some
you get
fat
with a
vapes
battery pack on them?
nowadays. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
brutal.
yeah, you got to, you know,
Yeah,
that,
it's its own charger.
beginning
It
of
could be
vapes,
mistaken
they
for a
used to
gun.
be
Yeah, they were huge.
These are like phones in the 80s.
My uncle used to he would be charging his cordless drill for work on the Monday and his vape charger beside it. The vape was bigger.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Fucking
didn't
mental.
you used to have to like crank it up?
Yeah.
It used to sound like a,
pedaling it.
yeah. It's like a sort of air raid siren. I swear you used to be able to blow straight cumulonimbus out of those. Like,
What's cumulonimbus?
lot of-
Harry
a lot of
Potter
smoke, I
spell
think,
or
maybe.
something.
no, you're thinking of the Nimbus 2000, the broomstick.
yeah.
Cumulonimbus is a cloud variant. You guys,
Right.
you guys,
Oh yeah,
you know.
I'm not big on my clouds.
mushroom cloud.
That's a.
That's like
Yeah.
a
I don't
nuke,
think that's
isn't
a.
it?
Yeah.
No,
It's not many
Yeah.
of those. Yeah.
No.
I was a big fan of that one myself, though.
Yeah, me too. It's a lovely cloud.
Top 5 cloud, I would say.
What
All
are
right.
the others?
What are the other ones?
Well, Stratus has got to be up there. That's a lovely wispy one on a summer's day.
Well, to make it YouTube, so you do like a tier list, right? S
Yeah,
tier.
that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
What's
but,
the S tier cloud?
well, I would say a mushroom cloud, depending on how close it is to your house, is an F tier cloud.
yeah.
Because
Right.
it's a signal that you've just been hit by a nuke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to
But then
avoid
on the
cloud.
thumbnail, we'd put the thing and then we'd blur all the things. So you want to click it to see what.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Rufus said, what cloud was the S tier?
I honestly think cumulonimbus is up there, you know, for the clickbait. Like, there's a lot of.
With your fucking audience, it actually might be.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next story now. Medical news from India. Usually, medical news from India is bad. Because generally, it's like, this child has been mauled to death by a tiger and there's nothing we can do.
There was a
Yeah.
story we covered a while ago where someone was doing like life-threatening surgery and they failed the surgery because they were just watching something on YouTube the whole time.
Yeah.
Not paying attention at all.
Yeah.
Not
My-
like an
my mum was in
instructional
a-
video on how to for the surgery.
it might
just
have
something
been.
entirely different.
Because they found out after that the surgeon wasn't qualified at all.
My mum was on a bus in India when she was travelling, and he was watching the cricket, and they hit a 6, and then he was celebrating so much he flipped the bus. It rolled down the hill, and 5 people died.
Did your mum die?
No, she was brilliant.
sound.
She's grand. Who won the cricket?
I don't actually know. I don't remember.
It might have been India, Pakistan. I think it was a big game.
Big game.
The Curry Classico, as they call it. The thing is, that is not.
They call it that.
They call it that. Yeah.
I don't think would they call it that?
All my Indian mates at school used to call it the Curry Classico. Yeah. Shout out to Adiraj.
Why you laugh now?
Shout out Weleb, you're my guy. Anyway, medical news from India. This is a positive story.
Okay, nice.
If I could use one word to sum up my ideal night, potholes. In that
Okay.
order.
Yeah.
In
okay.
that order.
Right.
Yeah.
Me tink me guan,
Yeah.
me tink me guan, smoky a bit of the puff, and then
And then Nash and Bunda.
yeah, mash some buns, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about potholes. The highways of the subcontinent are absolutely riddled with them, and they're a major source of accidents and deaths. However, Vanita Shukla, who's a woman from Uttar Pradesh, has a much better pothole story. So she was actually declared brain dead, and which I've
Because of
never.
an accident or just a.
I don't know. Maybe she's just a bit.
I've been
stupid.
declared brain dead. I don't know what that
Yeah,
means.
yeah.
That's just.
I guess anyone could declare it.
People just, when I'm on a line bike, people scream I'm brain dead all the time.
It's like declaring bankruptcy. Isn't it? You can just do it when you want. I don't really know what brain dead actually means.
Comatose? That's the best I've got.
Maybe someone.
What does that mean? Technically,
Can't move.
There's just no response.
There's nothing going on up there.
Yeah.
Nothing upstairs.
Standby mode.
Cobwebs in the attic.
Right. Okay.
I don't think any of us know actually.
No.
You know, whenever you're taking a shit and the same TikTok keeps replaying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of like that.
And you watch it 400 times. And then your algorithm is flooded with that random TikTok that you left on while you're having a shit. Yeah. And you have to listen to it again. Yeah. I think that maybe that's what happened to her. It gave her brain deadness. And then, anyway, in India, what they traditionally do is they let you die at home. So here
Yeah.
in Britain, we always rush to the hospital before Nan dies, right?
Yeah.
You know, you have to beat Jeremy Clarkson. The chicken
Yeah.
was still warm when I got home because I did 190 miles an hour in the Porsche in the outside lane so I could say goodbye to my dead dad.
Yeah.
Anyway, but in India, they do the opposite. They say, let's call it. We can't do anything for you. You go home and die with your family.
Which seems quite like
Yeah.
I thought they were telling them that before they came in. I was like, that's fucking pretty counterintuitive.
No. It's not like you can't come to the hospital because you're probably going to die.
bad for vibes, I think. All that death.
Yeah. Hey, terrible. I tried dropping game in an STD clinic the other day. Terrible vibes.
Did you
The
actually?
spot.
Yeah, I got recognised by this girl in
Yeah.
a STD clinic.
What does she have?
She's quite hot, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't ask that.
Fine.
Because I was.
What's the new opener?
It wasn't. Yeah, I was warming up to that, but then I got called in. And they have a number system,
Right.
so they don't shout your name out in an STD clinic,
Yeah.
which is what you're like. And this doctor came out and just goes, Rufus.
It's for Rufus.
Yeah.
They wouldn't say what you got.
I was there for a routine checkup because I'm a bit of a legend.
Yeah.
Right, routine
Yeah,
shagger.
just, a bit of a-
Nice.
just munch too much box, you know.
Are you doing all right?
I'm okay. Yeah.
Do be careful munching box. What was it? Who is it? Michael Douglas, who got throat cancer because he went down on Catherine Zeta-Jones too much. So you got to be careful. It's a
Jesus
dangerous
Christ.
The rising
That's
cause of
not
cancer.
a real
thing. It is true. Look,
Also,
we don't
it's a
have a-
rising cause of cancer in the UK. Read that the other day.
box
you got-
It's
munching.
kind of class.
So as much as you think this is a laugh, it's very serious. You got to
Yeah.
be careful out there, gnashing
Bring the
bunda.
tone down a bit.
You did it for like 4 hours the other day.
Oh,
What, gnashing bunda?
you know, well, it was International Women's Day.
Oh right, gnashing box.
So I just scran box for like 4 hours.
Man, you do have a good face for going at it. I feel. I
I've
feel
got-
you look like you could put a bib on.
I
And
fit-
really Henry VIII. That pum.
Oh yeah. I fit nicely in the crease. It's like a jigsaw. But you know when you wake up and your tongue really hurts. You know that bit, the bit that connects you. If you any box munchers at home will know what I'm talking about. The connective tissue between your tongue and the bottom of your mouth. If you munch box for too long, properly hurts that because you.
Do you think is it a muscle that gets stronger, or is it? You can't train your tongue.
I don't think so. I don't think you can hit that. Like,
yeah,
Maybe I should start lifting.
yeah, maybe tongue lifting.
what could you lift with?
Well, box, I guess. Anyway, this woman was discharged from the hospital.
Sure.
She's about to die. It got to the point, her husband told the family, prepare for the last rites. Her heartbeat's fading. So they send you back in the ambulance. At least they get you an Uber back. They're charging back home. She's on the way back to the gaff. On the way, the driver hit a pothole that was so big, the violent shock literally woke her back up.
Woke her up. She just regained ability to.
Yes, they
live
hit a massive
again.
pothole and she just goes like Captain America coming out of the machine, right?
Imagine being someone that funded medical research for that to be the way that saves them.
I know.
She could have just had mild anxiety. That could have been. It could be one
Yeah.
of those things.
Her husband said her breathing immediately returned to normal, and he had to hop on the phone and cancel the cremation.
That's the first thing he's worried about.
Well, you don't want to cremate.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to lose the deposit, is probably what he's thinking of.
Yeah.
That's such a you move. You would absolutely do that because you'd be thinking like, oh,
That's
those
fucking
con-
50 quid.
There's
I
con
paid
men,
the
there's
fucking
con men
deposit.
down at the burn.
You're getting fucking burnt, darling.
They've already got the name in the urn.
Yeah. At my great aunt's funeral, they burned her favourite Crocs as well.
On purpose?
What, like a Viking burial for her to go take it to the.
I think that might have been the great uncle that hated the Crocs his whole life. Was like,
But she wasn't
Yeah.
burnt in there.
She never married.
I don't think they were shooting like a bow and arrow.
Yeah, they didn't.
All her most prized possessions.
Well, you know when they send her in.
Yeah,
You've been to a funeral where they cremate them.
I have.
I haven't.
But
What? Wait, do you watch the fucking burning?
no. So the coffin goes down the aisle.
And what's it
There's
made
6
of? It's
people
made of like
walking this
plywood,
coffin down the
right?
aisle, and then they pop it on a table. And then at the end, after everyone's done all the chat and everyone's had a cry, they sort of open up this flap, and then they shuffleboard it. Is that the
Wait. Where you're not? Where? What venue is this?
This is in a funeral home.
Oh, so like and they have their ovens there.
Yes, oven on site, so everything is cooked.
Right.
Everything is cooked fresh.
Oh, amazing!
They don't use it for
fitted
other things, do
kitchen.
they?
It's for cremations only. I don't think
Right,
there's any
that's good.
cross
That's
contamination.
No, like pizza oven stuff.
No,
No, they're not making a
they
margarita.
don't
Well, I mean,
cater
it is.
the wake after.
Although it is a bit
It's
like
a bad
that.
waste of an oven.
As I remember it, they
Just stick some dough to the ceiling and then like.
If there's nobody's dying,
can
there's
make
no
a
reason
naan
not to
in
do
it.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the wake. Perfect.
I don't
Food
think-
for the wake.
I don't think they burn people in a tandoor. To be
I was in a pub the other night and I was trying to find the way to the bathroom, and I took like the first turn to the left, and there was just this really long fucking corridor. Walked into the funeral home. The people that owned the
Really?
pub also owned the funeral home next door. I was like, where the fuck am I? Just took the wrong turn.
Loads of ovens in there.
There actually was, yeah. Must be on-site job too.
But yeah, they basically slide this coffin down a table.
So they got one of the pizza things that one of those.
Yeah.
curling.
And now, oh wait, hang on. This wasn't a funeral. I was at Pizza Express. The funeral director was wearing a black and white striped shirt and a silly hat.
A referee.
No, it's a Pizza Express joke. He's never been there.
Yeah, that's true. That's sort of too posh an establishment.
It's not. It's not. And then this flap comes down and it sort of goes behind it, and then they burn them.
But you didn't see that.
You don't see
You
them.
don't see the corpse
But
decay.
but you know it's burning in there.
Yeah, that's what it's
You've got
for.
it, yeah, you can imagine.
But they threw the crops in as well. I think. Is what I'm trying to
Oh, as an afterthought, or was it?
as the
or
flap was
within
closing,
Someone's emptying the bin into it.
a bit of rubbish. You crisp packets.
I don't think you could have that in Ireland because you'd have some uncle trying to light his fag off it or something.
Once again, I'm not sure you can. You have to,
I'm picturing, like, just you seeing the
I think you might
flames.
get your arm in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you find the cremation funeral compared to a church funeral? Do you think it's a godless heathen thing to do, or did you find it like
Do religious people not cremate the dead?
I don't think so.
They do.
I think in the Christian
I think you can.
You can do, but
can.
majority would bury.
Yeah,
bury's
mine's
the
the
kind
bury.
of tradition, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Cremating's a bit woke.
Right.
It is a bit weird. We cremated my great aunt. And
Was she dead?
She's in the shed.
She's in the old studio. He
Yeah.
left his great aunt in
basi-
our old studio.
It was quite a bizarre funeral. She didn't really want a funeral, but then that's quite annoying.
Also,
that's
but-
quite an annoying thing to say because it's like we're gonna have to do something.
Well, once she's dead, like, it doesn't really matter, does it?
I guess so.
She doesn't really have a say.
So we
What's
did it.
cheaper?
We did it in like a lobby of a hotel, and then everyone just said like nice things about her, and then there was like a really morbid
in the lobby. So there's like people checking in for holiday.
not far away. I'll tell you that. And then a very morbid goodie bag where everyone got a little piece of her, and you can throw it where you like.
Or just
But
leave
then
it
I
in a
took, and then
old
I just
studio.
didn't know what to do with it because nothing felt quite right, and I got
Yeah.
choice paralysis, and now she's still in the shed.
She's in my
We've
friend's
left the
shed.
shed. She's still
How
there.
much do you get?
You got a lot. It was
It's way too much.
Yeah.
Was
way
it like-
too much.
did
So
it
it's,
look
like,
like
it's a little brown box like that. You open it, and there's like
Does it look
Like
sort
a
of
weed grinder or more.
oh, more.
way more.
lot more.
Way
Is it
more.
like a brick of cocaine?
Yeah, a bit more.
Yeah,
in
you
that-
You've
that
got
sort
a
of-
brick of your great arm. Yeah.
Whenever you say a goodie bag, I was picturing one of those like primary school party bags where you get like
Yeah,
a
basically.
Lollipop,
Basically that.
toy,
drumstick maybe.
bit of your great arm.
Refresher
Bit of
bar.
crack in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it more expensive to cremate or bury?
I imagine cremation would be cheaper. If you got the oven
Yeah,
already
because you're
running.
paying for
Because
the
fucking
graveyard.
coffins are expensive. You have to buy your plot of land. That's what my mum was getting
Yeah.
up to the other day. She was going to the graveyard to pick where she wanted to be buried. She's 50 years old.
Yeah, you're a landlord in death, aren't you?
Yeah, but
Kinda.
the life expectancy in Ireland is not very high.
It's not great now, but it's she's been like buying recently specific clothes that she'd be like, that'd be good for the funerals. She got to that age where people are dying that regularly.
50 years old.
What fit's she looking at?
She just got like a black coat. She's like, that'll do
You
me.
could do a like get ready with me video.
Or like, maybe she could do a collab with like Sidemen clothing.
But she's one of the people that loves death. Like there's no one more excited than there's a wake.
Oh right, she
Yeah.
gets mad. But you guys, you do that quite well. The Irish.
Oh, wakes
The-
are
the-
fucking class.
Yeah.
Greg.
I like wakes because there's always hummus.
Yeah, not quite at this one.
Why did you went like that as if you were sort of flirting with us? Oh, mate, so there's always hummus.
As if we're looking at an invitation.
When someone dies, I always think about the hummus because it's just a great opportunity to have a bit of hummus.
It's a very competitive scene though, Irish wake houses with mums and aunts and stuff, because they want to be the top dog with the sandwiches and stuff. And the tea
right.
making. There's a lot of
And,
rivalry at it.
Catholic, I imagine there's a lot of crying, right? A lot of wailing.
Not really, because depends on what one. A lot of the ones people just get shit faced from minute one, but it's kind of they're too embarrassed. They don't really have that sort of confidence in themselves to cry. They don't want to be called gay by like their brothers or
Sure.
something, even if it's their dad's funeral.
Yeah, that makes sense. You imagine there's a lot of Protestant sort of really stoic funerals.
But nobody in my family is religious.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
no.
but the culture's there.
Like when my uncle died, we had a cheeky funeral.
What, like
cheeky
Hernandez?
Like he yeah. I had a couple of thighs and a spicy rice and a nacho peas as well. I got the
If there's
meal.
3 refills at a Protestant wake, I'd be going to every one of them.
Yeah, his my granny had a wing roulette.
It's going to do the whole menu.
It's like when you go on a shoot day and they're like, we're getting Nando's for everybody. What do you want? It was a bit like that.
Right.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, no, we had a silly funeral.
Go on.
As in, he was always a fun-loving guy. So his wish was that nobody takes it very seriously. So when we walked in, they played the Top Gear theme song.
Was it killer? Was it great?
Oh, it was great. I mean,
does sound
and
cool.
I always feel-
everyone was wearing neon clothing
Right.
because he's like a
What,
fun.
so it's
uncle.
like-
he's like a fun uncle.
It's like 2011 rave scene, sort of.
this was in
LMAFO.
this was in 2011.
Was it?
Yeah.
Party rockers in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
house tonight.
Kanye wear sunglasses, the
Yeah,
what's out. Yeah.
It'd be pretty inappropriate if someone landed one of those like thongs so you've seen at them.
Yeah.
But
Like a
like,
neon thong.
the problem was that
EDM playing.
this was quite a big funeral home, and there was another funeral going on at the same time, very serious.
Or like a
funeral.
rival one.
Right.
And we were all standing waiting to walk in, and then it goes. Yeah.
My view with this though is because a lot of people say I want people smiling and happy at my funeral, right? That's a
Yeah.
classic thing. I feel that puts a lot of pressure to like be forced to have a good time.
Absolutely.
I think it should be all right to be fucking sad on it. I quite enjoy being sad. It feels dramatic
Yeah.
and like you want it to feel like
when it's
if
raining at a funeral?
everyone has to be dressed like a fucking twat and like
Yeah.
big
I think it's a
flowers that
selfish.
squirt water like fucking electrocuting chewing gum, all this shit. But it's like I've just lost my mum. Why am I-
Let me grieve.
Why, can you please not put me in clown
You'd be
shoes?
fucking fuming.
Don't put a whoopee cushion on my seat after my speech. This is ridiculous.
We're not playing drinking bingo. It's like
But,
it's
but
like
it was
a night
it was
out.
great. It was great vibes.
It was good. Well, as funerals go, it was pretty good.
Who
It
died?
was my uncle.
Right. How close were you?
I love the guy,
Yeah.
but like it was a long
Did
time.
he have
ago.
kids?
No, he was only 27.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
you need to be sad at a 27-year-old funeral.
I was sad. Of course, I was sad.
Wearing
Yeah,
like
but-
clown shoes.
I
and a vibrating hat.
was a 10-year-old kid.
What were you wearing though?
I was wearing neon green shirt. I wore the same outfit to the school disco later in the year.
Yeah, it seems like
Yeah.
For
It's
As a
like
mark of
spring break.
respect.
I think I was
or,
wearing
a coincidence.
I think I was wearing like,
Yeah.
Like
This was
how-
for my uncle.
Like Queen Victoria wore black after her husband died first. Yeah, I will wear neon green.
School disco.
let's have a song for his memory. Do you have sexy and I know it? I think I was wearing leather trousers.
Leather trousers.
Yeah, I could have got into Burger with that.
It does sound like a burger outfit.
Anyway, let's move on from the funeral chat. And if there's anything we absolutely can't stand on this show, it's giving to charity. We absolutely hate it. We hate it on this program. I'm sure you boys will agree with that.
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
it's-
Sure.
it's- I often don't know where the money goes.
Yes. I think
have
there's
the same
too,
problem.
There's too many like
pay your
adverts
tax first.
for donkey charities. I always feel like we should sort out, people dying of thirst.
Well, we actually have quite a lot.
Do you know what I
actually
mean?
Funny, we have
There's
a
a lot of
huge.
fucking-
I don't give
yeah.
a fuck about the donkey.
I know. We've got too many things to get to.
Oh, and it's like
before we
donkeys
sort out
aren't
the
even in this
donkeys.
country. And it's like there's loads of sad donkeys in Kenya. It's
so
like
many
there's
sad
so many more important things to be dealing.
Yeah,
with.
you can't.
I think we did an episode where we literally made a list of what charities we need to sort out first.
Well, you have
and
a
then
view.
all the money goes to that
Yeah.
one, and then we do the next, and then
It's
we do the next.
a bit by bit, so no other charity.
I think
can be
Age
funded.
UK was quite low down.
Yeah, so it's like water aid. Everything goes to water aid till it's fixed, and then you can move on problem by problem.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, I think
Until
it's
you
too
get
much
to
spread
donkeys.
betting.
and
Donkeys
other
are never getting sorted.
How
out.
far is like adopting a snow leopard down that list?
It's very low.
Very low. It's very low.
Very low.
What about
Unfortunately.
What about that thing where you have to send a shoebox full of junk to some child in Romania?
Very high.
Not heard of that one. Let's don't let it get away.
We have to do that
What the
every
fuck are
year.
you talking about?
You must have done that at
We
school.
did that. You, the
A
shoebox.
shoebox and
Shoebox appeal.
It wasn't
Of
Romania,
what?
was
Like
it?
beans?
Well, go wherever it goes.
It was Africa, right?
What? Like beans and noodles? What do you mean?
Yeah. It was just anything you got.
half a pencil or whatever.
Half a pencil.
Well,
That charity where you send half a pencil to Romania.
Maybe a pair
Brilliant.
of boxers, a
Yeah.
rubber. Not a
Do you not
joke.
remember this?
What,
The
genuine
shoebox
rubbish?
charity at Christmas. At Christmas, it was very much around
Wasn't like
sort of
homeless
Live
people.
Aid, like, you know, bleeding heart for
Yeah.
Africa.
What
sort
would
of
you
movement.
actually put in the shoebox? Because I'm not buying half a pencil.
For me, I used to forget to do it, so it's just whatever shit I could find.
Right.
Stuff,
What were you
complete
meant to?
hat.
See, like sponges and hats and
Sponges and hats.
maybe
Yeah.
not a hat.
This
Africa.
doesn't seem like a high priority. is
always refreshers.
Yeah, so, if you've never had a refreshment before, it would blow your head off.
Imagine
I'd be
if-
fucking furious
imagine
if
if
I
you
was
were
a
an
Romanian
impoverished
kid.
If you were an impoverished Ethiopian child and you'd
Half
never
a
had
pencil and a refresher. I'm fucking dying here. These English cunts.
that
But if you're
refresher,
starving,
that
the
refresher
refresher
would be
might-
the highlight of your year.
Yeah, I guess
That
it
would be
would.
great.
But it would be divvied up by about 30 people probably.
Yeah, your 30th of a refresher.
In answer to your question, that charity's underneath the donkeys at that point, I think.
Yeah. We had to. There's one year that everyone was sending like just stationery and they were sending sharpeners and stuff, and we got a message the following year being like they're taking the blades out of the sharpeners and using them as weapons. So we had to stop sending them sharpeners.
I did briefly work for a charity in Hong Kong, where we were sending used donated games consoles to Africa.
Where the fuck did they plug them in?
We had a very tough supervisor in the electronics department who was like, "We need 5 consoles by the end of today. You need to," and we had to piece together like controllers, batteries, kits, wires, all this sort of stuff, and not everything worked. So there's a lot of like testing all this stuff. And he's like, "I don't care, just get it done." You know, we need to ship these Wii's to Ghana, right? And
Fucking Pronto.
yeah, like I'm gonna need this on my desk by tonight.
But it sounds like he was just like, there's a Wii with an Xbox controller.
Well, what we did is we realized there was clearly not enough functioning parts to make 5 sets. Maybe we could make 2. So we just whacked a load of shit in a box and sent it to Africa.
Biggest smile on his face.
Yeah. The joy. Ruining an African kid's Christmas.
Well, I'm sort of hoping they can figure it out on their end.
Would you rather half an Xbox or a pencil and a sharpener, Andrew?
Neither. I mean, I think I'd prefer a Wii.
I know there's a village out there somewhere using a PS2 as a doorstop.
But the pen is mightier than the scissors. So maybe it's like teach a man to, maybe with that pencil they can
Become a poet.
write.
do you think the pen is mightier than the Nintendo Wii?
A Nintendo Wii that's out of commission, yeah.
But they're quite ingenious.
The Wii's or the
Not the
kids.
I hope you're not saying the
The
Africans.
Africans. So I figured, they can sort of piece the bits together and work it out.
Right.
On their side. Anyway. Let's get to the story.
Please.
Finally, the evil grip of charity has been loosened, at least in Florida, where a local priest has racked up more than $500,000 in fines. Do you want to guess his charity-based crime?
Charity-based crime.
Yeah. He's been fined for this.
He's money laundering for
No,
charity.
he's feeding homeless people.
Right.
So for 12 years, Father Bob has been locked. I promise you that's his name. He's been locked in a high-stakes legal battle with the city council in somewhere, Bumfuckville, Florida, who allege that he's operating a soup kitchen without a license. So the council rezoned his local area around his church.
Yeah.
But basically, what that meant is that under the new local bylaws, his soup kitchen, which he's been operating for the last 36 years, became technically illegal.
Right.
He's even been giving nitties showers. I mean, this is
But
criminal
laws
stuff.
are there for a reason.
That sounds more sexual than it needed to be.
Why?
As if he's showering them himself.
No,
He might be getting. I think that's the least he's owed.
Yeah, that's not a bad point.
It's good to have
If
someone...
it's like a guy who gets sexual pleasure out of feeding the homeless, I think you'd be like,
Yeah.
fucking have at it.
You can clean
I'm
my balls
hungry.
all day long.
So, yeah, this evil criminal has been feeding homeless people illegally without say-so of the council. And what they do...
Crime is on the rise
Yeah.
around the world.
So they've been charging him $125 a day since 2014. So every day he continues to feed homeless people, he gets $125
They
fine.
need to up the fine. It's clearly not working.
Whereas now that's totaled up in the last 12 years to over $500,000.
It's expensive soup.
And he just goes, I'm not paying that. So he's now been indicted on charges of that, and he countersued, because this is America, on harassment charges. Like, you're harassing me with all these fines. Every single day I get a letter in my letterbox, $125 fine for continuing to feed the homeless people. and they say, "But I didn't even know you needed a license for a soup kitchen." That seems pointless to
Yeah,
me.
it sounds like it's a fucking. It seems easier to get that than it does a gun license.
Yeah, it's much
Yeah,
easier to
definitely.
In Florida, you can just walk into a Walmart.
Yeah.
Get a pistol.
It's a bit mental.
You could poison the soup.
Yeah, you can't have like
You can't have anyone serving
And you
soup.
can't just open a soup kitchen outside someone's house and just have a.
Haven't you been?
a good
haven't you
point.
been to it when you were like hungry
Oh, yeah.
on a night out? You went to
There's basically like there's a place called Cookstown where I'm from, and there was like a Apache pizza down the road.
Yeah.
But there was also a soup kitchen for the sort of the less fortunate up the road. But after a night out,
Do they have
I would just
similar
go in-
names, or are they?
I can't remember what the fuck it was called, but I would go in and get like a soup as like a starter.
Yeah.
And then go down and get a
Was
pizza
everyone
after.
like, "There's no way you're homeless in any way"? Or did you?
Nobody ever questioned it. Yeah. It was unreal. Like,
Was it actually good food?
yeah, but a fucking cup of, those like
Getting the last
styrofoam
bowl
cups
of
that
the
you get at
cheese
like
massive.
wakes and stuff.
Yeah.
Just topped up with soup. A couple of times I went in twice.
So you sit in the soup
would you
kitchen.
change your? Would you wear a hat? And
No,
like
they
fake glasses.
I think just
They
the
just
old
thought he was
grannies
homeless.
that were working in it were like, oh, you could do a cup of soup. And then I go up and get like a large pepperoni passion after.
What's the vibe like in a soup kitchen? Is it like what's the
Everyone was
ambiance?
steaming.
Yeah.
So it was pretty fucking good.
it's a bit like the kebab shop then.
I think just the homeless people must have been at something else that night because everyone in it were just straight from the club
So it
and
was
playing
afters.
tunes and stuff. It more
Yeah.
or less was. I think they're just like, this soup's going to fucking go off if we don't feed it to someone.
I've got a favorite homeless woman. She's called Bent Over Sal, and because she's a hunchback, and she's not homeless though, but she isn't, because
Okay.
she lives near my parents, and around there they have very good provision for the sheltered housing for the homeless.
Which I'm sure you're livid about.
Which, well, if I was on that council, first thing I do is shut that straight down, and I charge anyone who does it $125 a day. No, I am livid about it. and I've got some proposals to sort of change up the system, which basically involves sort of shunting all the homeless people to the Falkland Islands, but not many people are willing to hear me out on that. Anyway, so Bent Over Sal, what she does is she sort of goes around town harassing locals in exchange for drugs, right?
Sure.
That's her day job. But at night, she just goes home to the crib,
Right.
because there's the only homeless people there are professional homeless people.
Yeah.
Pros.
Yeah.
Career homeless people.
Career homeless people. The only reason they're out on the street is because they need money for drugs. Otherwise, they'd just be chilling in the back of the house.
I don't trust homeless people to have a sum up card reader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too advanced.
I met a
dangerous.
homeless guy once, and inexplicably he has access to Facebook. But every birthday I have, he posts on my Facebook wall, "Hippo Bath Day," and I absolutely love it. I think it's one of the most charming things I've ever come across.
What does he say?
Hippo Bath Day.
Does he read a lot of BuzzFeed?
I have no idea. I'd never heard it before. Neil started posting on my wall, but he's a very charming fella.
Right.
And is he still without a house?
He's still alive. I don't.
He's alive and kicking.
Every birthday.
Is
yeah.
that share where your one's ashes going? Maybe
Yeah,
you can take
maybe.
it over.
Yeah, maybe.
Right, let's move on to the sports now. A while ago, we covered a bit of African sporting shenanigans when, during the final of AFCON, Senegal staged an on-field protest. Morocco attempted the shittest penalty of all time in the 24th minute of added time. Senegal somehow pulled a win out their absolute arses after Sadio Mane gave them a talking to in the tunnel. Now, 2 months later, the African Football Confederation. So Senegal won 1-0. Lots of shenanigans. I'm sure you guys know that.
Yeah.
But Morocco appealed, because apparently you can do that. And they've overturned it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
2 months later, they've overturned it.
because they left the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which broke the
Simple
rules of the
as.
game, apparently.
Yeah.
Which gives Senegal the forfeit, which means Morocco won 3-0 without scoring any goals.
Yeah.
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 Morocco points to the rule, basically says if you walk off the pitch, you lose. Senegal, they only delayed the game for 20 minutes. So I think maybe we should let them off.
That's a fucking piss take.
No, I think you just got to the game's the game. If whatever happens on the pitch, you have to sort it out on the pitch or not.
Yeah.
I don't think... They
You
always...
can't overturn it.
They-
The Morocco haven't won it. No one will give
they
it to Morocco.
They didn't win.
Yeah.
They
So no
didn't
one
win the
won.
game.
You can't argue that them taking 20 minutes off the pitch affected the penalty taker, but sort that out at the time.
I don't
Maybe
know.
you walk off the pitch then.
Yeah.
Penalties are so easy though.
I mean, the Senegal should. They should. We
Yeah,
must
if
say that they
anything-
should have been
yeah.
walking off. We want to
I'm
stand.
quite a stickler for sporting rules.
Wait, are you saying?
You
that-
know the fucking book.
Yeah.
Let's throw at
Are
them
you
now.
Team Morocco?
I'm Team Morocco.
I would be, only they acted like scumbags during it as well. Where they had
Yeah.
like the ball boys running and taking the keeper's towels so you couldn't dry
Yeah.
the ball.
Yeah, the ball boys were stealing the keeper's towels, which
Yeah.
is a no-no as well.
And something
No
that-
one came off well.
not at all. And Hakimi got on like a bit of a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
But he came out after and was like, I don't want it. And I was thinking, was it for some sort of noble sporting
That's
reason?
what the girl said to him. Anyway, it's an Ashraf Hakimi reference. There you go. For all these sporting fans out there will get that. Mum, I know you'll have to Google it, but hey.
Speaking of, I was thinking like, right, some sort of unlikely sportsmanship in the 90th minute. His reason for not accepting it was that his mum told him not to. He came out and said that in an interview. It's like, I'm not accepting the AFCON title even though it's been rescinded because my mum told me not to.
That's quite sweet, though. I think
A lot of mums.
he loves his mum. though,
He
doesn't
does. His mum,
loves
like-
his mum.
He put everything in his mum's name during his
Yeah.
divorce so she could
Well,
have
he's
them.
he's lots of quotes about because he got cheated on by his girlfriend.
There is his mum.
Well, as in like she's going around mothering other children.
But he says you can't trust any woman but your mother. He's like a big believer. He's like he thinks the only woman a man can trust is.
I don't know. In some ways, that's a nice sentiment, and always, in some ways, it's a huge misogyny.
Oh, it's unbelievable misogyny.
Yeah. But Italians are like that, aren't they? Like they all fancy their grandma.
There's the guy, what's his name? Louis Ribales or something?
Oh,
He was
the
guy
Spanish FA.
Spanish.
You know the guy who got with the woman.
kissed the player when the women
You don't remember this?
won the World
Yes,
Cup.
yes.
And then his mum went on hunger
Oh, it was
strike
awesome.
to
This was so
protest the
good.
fact that he
Right,
got
hang on.
banned from.
You've got to fill me in on
Yeah,
this.
so basically, when the women won the Euros, the Spanish women won the Euros. You know when there's the head of the national FA handing
Handing
them,
over
or
them.
shaking their hand at the end when they're all going up. He just basically he's super excited. He grabs one of them and just kisses her. And
So is this a bit like Prince William snogging Beth Mead?
Yeah.
it's a lot like that.
I didn't know that.
Exactly
You know
like
what?
that, yeah.
It's exactly
It's
that.
a bang
No,
on
that
reference.
didn't happen. That's an analogy.
I thought you meant
because
that
this is a
because I was like, there was no fucking fuss kicked up with that.
But she had such a good season in 2022. Like I wouldn't
Oh yeah,
understand
I've
it.
heard about this.
And I think everyone in this country sort of thought, well, that's just Mediterraneans for you. But then apparently,
Yeah, it's like getting your tits out on the beach.
It doesn't
It's like,
mean anything.
It'd be weird over here.
Yeah.
And your nipples would be
But
very
she
cold.
was pretty upset, and then he got fired for
He got
sexual
sacked,
harassment.
and then the mum went on hunger strike in
mum-
protest of him losing his job, which might be the lowest stakes hunger strike there's ever been.
She only lasted 12 hours.
She
12 hours.
She lasted
Just
12
skip
hours.
dinner.
Yeah, 12 hours.
I've done way more than that when I
Yeah.
got stuck on a ferry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to always attach a. If you haven't eaten for 10 hours, you need to get a cause. I always say this. If you're already near hunger strike levels, you need to find a cause. Don't waste your hunger strike.
Hunger strikes intrigue me because they're usually appealing really evil things that other people have done. Which, if I'm the most evil person in the world and someone's skipping dinner, I couldn't give a fuck. You know,
Yeah.
like it's like, how is that ever supposed to work? If Gandhi hadn't pulled it off that one time, which was a fluke, by the way, out of his arse against a bad British side. If he hadn't managed to get the win there, nobody would be doing these silly hunger strikes.
That's
in-
another
Your
thing
boys.
you have in common with Maggie Thatcher.
Yeah.
Every week there's another.
Yeah, that's true.
Your boys did a pretty good showing, though.
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
hunger strikes.
Arguably too good of a
Yeah.
showing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love painting the walls and shit as well.
Yeah, that was the first sort of order of business. By the way, whenever you were saying cause there, I thought you were saying you need a curs. And I was like, why do you need a beer and a hunger strike? That's so fucking
Oh,
confused.
to be fair, like it would help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would.
A few cold ones. Sometimes I skip dinner when we're having a big night out because I know I'm going to have about 12,000 calories in booze.
Did you see as well that Jorginho, the player that played for Chelsea, Italy national team, Arsenal, is beefing
It's okay.
with Chapel
We've
Rowan?
heard of him. Mate.
Yeah.
He almost won the fucking Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. How many people at home haven't heard of him? There's not many football fans watching this podcast.
Talk about football like every week.
We've got it's one of the fucking nerdiest fan bases.
Do you think?
Yeah. But he basically
can't be more than Finn versus history.
Surely not. Well, yeah, nerd implies that there's some IQ going on. I feel ours.
We
might have as high a male percentage.
What numbers are you
I think
working?
it's like 97.
No, we're not that. That's pretty big. That's pretty big.
is that really our stat?
That was what it was.
We're like 90%. I think Boys Gone Wild are about 70.
75, I
The
think.
last time I checked, it was pretty high.
I think you said 99 when I met you. The other
Might have
day.
been.
Yeah.
Oh, so we've improved.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
We often-
even for us, that's pretty amazing numbers.
We often get
Complete
accused.
an anomaly.
repellent for women. That's
That's
extraordinary.
obscene, yeah.
There was this.
Have you ever been recognised by a woman who loves the pod?
No.
No.
I had someone a while ago tell me that their girlfriend loves a pod, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on here?" It must be like the 1%.
Yeah.
We actually frequently get accused of stealing ideas from Film versus History. Like the idea for our
I think we have a lot of cross references. If we're just doing accents in a suit, I think a stop clock. We're
fuck
gonna.
no bastard.
I don't know if you've been accused of stealing anything.
Someone commented the other day, they're like, they're wearing suits and their set looks exactly the same. They must have stolen this idea from Film
It
versus
looks nothing alike.
And also, our podcast started way before Film versus History.
Yeah,
I stole it from you guys.
But I understand where they're coming from because, like, I'm sure if you switched us out, I don't think anyone would notice. Like, if you guys started doing this show and we did that for 1 week, I don't think people would clock.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, there was also, unreported by us at the time during this African final, a pitch invasion by the Senegalese fans. So I didn't know this at all, but since the final, 18 Senegal supporters have been imprisoned
Right, fuck.
and sentenced to prison terms ranging from 3 months to 1 year for hooliganism.
Damn.
So they've just been chilling in an African prison.
Chilling. Maybe not chilling.
Not chilling, but
Makes it sound quite appealing.
yeah. Their
Take a load
appeal
off.
trial is scheduled for March 30th, so we'll look forward to that.
Yeah,
We will.
for sure.
We'll be tuning in.
And what are you saying? Good luck to the Senegalese fans. What is your?
No, I say send them down.
You need it null and voided at this stage.
I'm not a fan of pitch invasions. I was at the cricket when the Just Stop Oil guy came on.
I can't imagine the noises
fury
that came out
must
of your
have been
cheeks.
Johnny Bairstow picked him up and genuinely carried him back over the boundary rope and threw him off the pitch.
Yeah. Then he said, "Restore Britain."
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the games segment now. This is Gamey Schumer coming at you. And
Pretty good.
this is the Mormon Newlywed game. Okay. This is inspired by something Horatio texted me. You told me you have 3 wives, which are, of course, Andrew, Finn, and your actual girlfriend.
Yeah.
Whose
I did,
name I
actually.
didn't bother to look up.
He says proudly.
Yeah, I think I think that's in descending order of love. I found. So this is the Mormon Newlywed game. This is the format. I'm just going to throw out a question, and you guys are both going to answer at the same time without conferring.
What? Like? Okay. Nice.
As long as you say the same answer, you get the point. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Do they get
Is
a
it
countdown?
just, are we the answers like the Newlywed Game? Or is it?
Yes. So
broader.
these will be questions about you, chaps.
Yeah.
And as long you just have to say the same thing.
Right.
And is it gonna be a 3, 2, 1?
It's gonna be a 3, 2, 1, and then you're gonna get into it.
3, 2, 1,
Also, I did nick a few questions from BuzzFeed quizzes. So
Okay.
I think it'll be obvious when we get into the game which ones I stole.
Is it? Are you a bagel or a donut? Is that one?
Oh, it's pretty close.
It's just the what Harry Potter are you quiz on this page.
Oh, there's a bit of that. we'll get to question 5. Anyway, first question. What does your go-to Starbucks drink say about your anxiety level? 3.
Wait, hold on. How the fuck are we meant to answer that?
As long as you say the same answer, it's okay. No conferring.
Okay, fine. Wait, can you ask the question again, please?
Question 1. What does your go-to Starbucks drink say about your anxiety level? 3, 2, 1.
Nothing.
Frothier than average.
Okay, so
We don't know each other at all.
no points. I was absolutely certain you were going to say
Yeah.
nothing as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nothing.
are we taking this very seriously?
Nothing was. I was like,
Okay,
anyway,
fine.
if you're gonna.
Okay,
game
fine.
right.
You want to win. Right, we're locking in.
All right. Question 2. What is Andrew's favourite porn category? 3, 2, 1.
Made.
Tits.
So yeah, big tits.
Big tip.
It's a big tip.
Oh, I said made.
It is up there. I am a role play
What
costume
about Big
kind of
Tit
guy.
Maid?
Yeah.
Does that get much
oh, God,
search?
yeah.
Andrew has
the
quite
more
like,
milkier, the better. As in
And-
milk made here.
Yeah.
Not the tits, but
Yeah.
they wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
He's quite into traditional sort of lingerie and stuff. You like it quite down the line.
Yeah.
Do you like-
You're kind of basic.
Big fan of Oktoberfest.
I was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
about
yeah.
to say that.
Big fan of Oktoberfest,
Yeah.
100%.
Colin's
never
just the straight guy classics.
been. Yeah,
Kinda what
that
you're
could be
going.
my mecca pilgrimage.
Just tits and pints.
Tits
So
and
you
pints.
like the French maid, but it wouldn't work.
It's
if it was
funny.
like what cleaners wear. It wouldn't be like the
No, I don't want like
marigolds, Adidas sliders, like an old T-shirt. That's not.
Yeah,
No,
my,
it's feather duster.
my cleaner is just a random Polish couple.
That's not what I'm into.
yeah.
no.
I think
You're
it needs
cleaner?
to be
Yeah, cleaners plural.
a whole team of them.
Yeah, it's like a mum and pop shop. They're married. They come round and they clean my house as like a team.
Have you started hiding the flashlight since the game?
No.
You haven't?
I'm
Just
proud.
leave it out?
If anything, I leave it out just to mark my territory. Okay, question 3. What is Horatio's favourite curry? 3, 2, 1.
Jalfrezi.
Jalfrezi.
Fuck, I knew that one.
What is...
Chicken korai.
I knew that one.
That's
Well,
not...
it's, one, it's
that's
like more
not
like
a
Midlands.
standard.
It's not curry. It's korai. Korai. It's quite a nice.
It's not a standard on a menu.
You sort of
that.
shafted
No,
him
it's
then.
not.
I didn't even do a real curry.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh right, nice. Yeah.
Next one. If you were to make love, who would be the bottom? 3, 2, 1.
Horatio.
Me, I probably.
And there's a point. The point on the board. Have you?
Finally.
It seems like you guys probably have discussed this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Done 6 years of podcasts.
Yeah, you.
Comes up.
That's come on.
It comes up.
We're going to have to talk about it at some point. Should we put it in the Patreon episode? Let's
Well,
put
I
it
think
in
it's
the-
that
good.
behind a
to-
paywall,
You just
definitely.
discuss it in quarterly reviews.
Yeah.
And just see where each other are.
Yeah.
And you can
We
move
flip
from
flop.
there.
Yeah. I'm on top at the moment, but we'll see where we're at next quarter.
Next one. Which one of you is a Ravenclaw? 3, 2, 1.
Andrew.
Wait, hold on. What's Ravenclaw?
He doesn't know.
I don't really know either.
Yeah.
I took it from BuzzFeed.
I
What are you?
believe Ravenclaw are the beady, intelligent ones.
The Neeks. Hogwarts
The
Neeks.
Neeks, yeah.
I would be straight in
Is that not fucking Harry's gang?
Gryffindor, I think.
They're the Nicky ones, are they not?
No, I believe they're the
They're
ones
brave.
brave
They're
ones.
brave. They're
Yeah,
brave.
you're right.
filled with
Yeah.
courage.
I would be straight in fucking Ravenclaw. That,
You're in Slytherin.
You're definitely
such a
you're
Slytherin guy.
Slytherin cunt
What are
of all
you
time.
talking
You're
about?
fucking crab and goy.
I'm sorry.
That's even more of an insult. He wouldn't be Malfoy. He'd be their fucking.
I've never been so insulted. I can't believe you guys would say that I'm a Slytherin.
Oh, the most obvious Slytherin of all time.
Why? What?
Talking about how you're excited about not giving to charity,
Just generally not a
Send-
pleasant person.
send the Senegalese to jail. Anything you said.
Oh, I'd never marry a mudblood. Oh, God.
Not bothering to look up his girlfriend's
Wait
name.
till my dad hears about this. It's very much that.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Polish
fucking is.
cleaners. It's all there. It's all there.
Are you suggesting that Polish cleaners I'm doing that as some kind of revenge? For what? Against immigration or something?
No, it's just kind of like a Malfoy thing to do, isn't it?
It kind of is, yeah.
It's affluence. It's you know.
Well,
Dobby.
well, I believe. I mean, it's quite Slytherin behaviour. I feel when we were at the Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
we all met. You couldn't make it because you're waiting for a piano to be.
You were meant to be sat next to me, empty chair. Where is he? I'm waiting for piano. What is going on?
I needed it for work.
Gary Lineker was waiting on you.
Mate, I would have talked to me and Lineker would have talked about scholars for fucking hours.
Yeah.
I was actually disappointed to miss that, but I couldn't miss that piano, lads. I really
Yeah.
needed it.
Are you a pianist? Oh, yeah, of course. You're.
Yes, I am a pianist.
You.
What kind of piano was it?
Yeah. It's a synth, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Got that through the letterbox, surely.
It was big letterbox. Small synth.
Small sim.
Right. Next question. Who has the fattest hog? 3, 2, 1.
Andrew,
Me.
probably. Yeah. Well, fattest.
Fat. I'm not
I'm
a
talking-
girthy fella.
I mean,
talking
we
girth.
said Andrew, but I think girth. I
Entire
don't know.
surface area.
You might,
I
girth,
might
we'd
have
have
a
to do
fat-
some
I might have a fatter
measurements.
hog than you.
It might have a fatter,
Yeah.
But I think that still counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We
the point.
understood
That's the point.
the-
You're 2 points so far.
Yeah.
Which one of you is the ugliest? 3, 2, 1.
Probably me. I mean,
It's just a Horatio, but
I
it's not. It's a close game.
It's been less close at times.
At
so
school.
It's closer now. At school,
At
Andrew
school,
would be
yeah.
much better looking than me.
I'm going
but-
down. Horatio's going up.
Yeah, so I think
You're
we're
meeting in the middle,
Yeah,
is
but
it?
the starting place was pretty low. So
I was so clapped at school. It was
yeah,
Horatio
I've been
was
chopped.
so fucked at school.
I've been chopped quite a lot of my
Yeah.
life. So it's sort
Yeah.
of like everything's a bonus though. If you grow up as a chopped child,
I got told I look like Randall from Monsters Inc. the other day.
That's 100% true.
Which I'm looking at. Yeah, I do a bit. Yeah, from that angle. Yeah.
I mean, the big one I get is the dwarf from Game of Thrones. If he was
I just thought
normal.
Angry Birds pig.
Well, I wasn't actually opening up for suggestions. I was more just saying the ones I've got.
Like
yeah.
the green
Yeah.
one.
I mean, there's
that.
recently they animated a clip of Versus History, and I was just the Angry Birds pig.
Okay.
They just made the same nose. They just copy and pasted it.
Yeah.
And no one else said that it didn't look like me. So
Right. Next one.
I look like the Danish Prime Minister.
yeah, you annoyingly there's someone to bring up.
can't
He looks
put it up.
exactly. She's
Get her up.
Get her up.
it's pretty amazing.
We'll
He looks-
we'll put a picture on screen of the
Yeah.
Danish Prime Minister
it's
for anyone
pretty
interested.
amazing. Take a look at this.
I'm going to get your most commonly commented one, Rufus.
I don't know.
I can see it a bit.
Kind of droop structure of everything.
I think that looks a lot like.
I do see it.
Oh, there's no other one.
But I would definitely smash the Danish Prime Minister, but I wouldn't really have years. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
But it's
On a night out, he'd
It's
definitely-
Andrew getting yassified, then it'd look like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, he's searching for some random championship footballer.
Yeah, he might be leaving.
And I do look a bit like the guy, but he is just like a guy. Like, it's not very interesting.
Yeah, chat away.
This is going to be a waste of all of our time. Anyway, next question.
Yeah.
Which one of the Friends characters is Andrew most like? 3, 2, 1.
Ross?
Yeah, I stole that from BuzzFeed once again.
Yeah, okay.
I'm very excited about that. That's another point.
you go.
Is it because you're callous?
Well, I think we both think we're Ross.
Yeah.
I think Ross is our favourite Friends character. Probably.
Yeah, I think he's
the only one that we think is genuinely funny.
Oliver Tanner, Cardiff City FC.
I mean, yeah, a bit.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's nice.
Next one. If Horatio had to compete in the Paralympics, what sport would he choose? 3, 2, 1.
Wheelchair javelin. Sprinting?
I mean,
What,
yeah,
without a leg or something?
yeah, maybe with blades.
Are you pretty pacey?
We'd have to chop your.
I'm pretty fast.
We'd have to chop your legs off first.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, but their legs are
you
chopped off.
attaching
But their legs are chopped off as well. So
yeah.
do you know what I
It's
mean?
all fine.
I was about to say tallest dwarf, but I think that might be one of the categories.
Is that an event? I didn't know where they had.
No, it's not the most thrilling spectator sport, the tallest dwarf. Just a measuring.
always the person who is the.
You can see it when they walk in. Well, it's going to be him, isn't
Respect
it?
from a shortest normal person fan.
Well, they're heartbroken. They're heartbroken, short as normal person. Because they're on their edge between.
Yeah.
Well, both of them are winners. I
They
guess.
could have been the king of one community, though.
I'd like
They're
to see
all
a
winners.
championship game between tallest dwarf and shortest normal.
Yeah.
Just having a face off to see who
That
wins.
sounds like one of those like end of season FIFA teams they start to do.
Yeah. Okay, the final question, question 10. You're on 3 points.
It's not terrible.
Let's see if we can do the 4. Okay, do the same accent. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, why are you walking there?
There's a problem with the format because you both spoke at the same time, so I have no idea what you did.
I went Jamaican Irminal, and you did like a sort of what was it?
It's like New York.
It was sort
don't
of.
really
It was
know
a
what this is.
I
cowboy.
saw exactly what went through Andrew's head. He goes, I'll just do foreign.
I believe that was. I believe what I heard was a sort of either
New York?
I thought New York.
I
thought
it was
New York
a
Italian.
NPC sort of in the background cowboy. Hey, I'm walking there.
Yeah, it was a panic is what
Yeah.
it was.
I'm going to say no
Was it
points.
Hispanic?
No points. Fair
3
enough.
out of 10.
Yeah, I'll
played.
say that.
Not bad.
Right, we're going to move on to the final segment of the show now. Questionable, where we ask the audience an interesting query and react to the best responses. This week we asked you, if you had one free crime you could get away with, what would you pick? What would you do? And these are, if you have any ideas, chaps, feel free to chime in with some of your favourite crimes. But first up, we got trespassing. Specifically, I would break into every NBA player's house to measure up to see who has the biggest schlong. Which...
I love the big pause for us to comment as if it's like, right, okay.
Well, there's a lot of...
Eyes wide open. What do you think about that, lads? I
Horatio Gould, Andrew Campbell.
think there's something there, isn't there?
This is like I'm inspired by question time. But,
Yeah, okay. It's fine, I guess. I mean, you can kind of tell they got baggy shorts. You know, not that I look at it a
You're
lot.
looking at the
but,
silhouette.
yeah,
doing a bit of cock
yeah,
watching.
you can see some hogs.
it's got to be that. Who's that guy? Who's 7'9"?
Yes.
Wembanyama.
Yeah.
What about the Great Wall of China? That fella.
Yao Ming.
Yeah.
I reckon he's got a tiny.
That's true. That's
tiny.
It's not the right
I'm
stereotype.
You are such a moron sometimes. You think the NBA player with the biggest penis of all time is going to be Chinese?
He was just the tallest one I had thought of.
I
watched no
Shaq's
NBA.
got to have a
Yeah.
proper cable on him.
Thick.
Yeah.
Thick.
Next one. I would love to sucker punch Big John to see how strong the recoil of his blubber armor is, and also to see what he keeps in his inventory. I reckon he'd drop a few fortune cookies, a takeaway receipt several miles long, and a chug jug.
Yeah. Again.
I would really enjoy if you beat someone up, they would like drop all their items like a video game.
Just the wallet and stuff drops on the floor.
Yeah, like it all all the rings, Sonic. You know,
Or like in GTA when you kill someone, all the cash they have.
just
straight
immediately
Yeah.
goes
Your
straight
bank
to,
balance empties.
straight to your balance. Yeah.
I guess, I mean, driving through a Broadway market in a truck.
You?
Yeah.
Is that a terrorism
Yeah.
stunt?
A busy one.
Yeah.
Mate,
Go
it's,
on.
it's a bit peak though. Like it does come back to impact your life because when I went to Sharm El Sheikh, somebody did that in 2004, and now every time you want to go to the shops, you have to walk through one of those airport scanners.
Okay, well, I won't do
They
that.
have,
Don't do that. Yeah.
and it's really
I thought this was a free hit, but
You
okay.
have to get-
maybe it is unethical. You're right.
you have to get everything out your pockets just to go to the.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from, though. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it right. Like,
Yeah.
no point in half-assing it.
Next one, I would steal all the batteries from every shop in Britain, then use them and put them back on the shelf empty.
That's just mean.
But also, like, you'd have to have so many vibrating strokers to use all that battery at the same time.
Yeah.
And also, mine's rechargeable anyway, so it doesn't even use batteries.
These are all good points.
Yeah. Next one, I would teabag Keir Starmer. I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, that's what you think about that.
That's the first one on here that I might do.
Yeah.
And
Sort
I would
of-
definitely get a picture.
Well,
for
I
Instagram.
imagine, I guess someone giving a political speech, probably Starmer. I mean, if this is international, Putin would be ideal, and you debag him. But because it's any crime you can do, right? The security aren't allowed to stop you in this.
Yeah, you can
So
have one free go.
one free go. Well, then I would, while Putin's giving a speech, just fucking
Pants him.
pants him.
Yeah.
You don't want to, like, chop his nuts off while you're there? Just
I
for a
don't-
laugh, sell them on eBay, maybe.
Chop his nuts off.
I don't know how much they're going for.
Yeah, I think the silliness. I think
you could walk
seeing me struggle with the knife as I'm trying to get through the thick ball meat.
Thick?
Yeah, probably. It'd take me a while, and then his screams of agony. I believe, no matter what you think about Putin, I think the horrific spectacle would
harrowing.
actually I don't think it would work as well as a political statement as a silly debag. But
I think you could.
that's just why.
I think you could walk straight into the Tate Modern with those nuts, and they'd immediately give
these
you-
nuts,
with the
those nuts,
with
walking with those nuts.
with those nuts.
This is even, it doesn't have the same fucking glamour as a D-bag, but if he's maybe in the middle of a very important speech and just a little fucking sack top as you walk past.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, those really hurt. I discovered on
Whoopee
the show
cushion.
the
I
other day.
mean, that's not illegal. It's not illegal
Yeah,
to
that's
whoopee
true.
cushion, so.
Was a D-bag illegal, though?
Is a sack tap illegal?
Yeah, I guess this is the problem.
Is it
I mean,
teabag? Well, a non-consensual one, I suppose,
I'm
yeah.
using the ability to get past security. I don't know if that's within the
Well,
good
you're back-
faith.
we're
Well,
back
I
to
think
trespassing
if
then.
anything, if you sack tap Putin, you've still got a free crime under your pocket. So
Yeah.
I don't think you've actually.
So I'm just doing that as a free. That's just I can just do that
That's
anyway.
just
You do it for the laugh.
Yeah, that's,
I'm still back on the
that's the
question.
ban. Yeah.
You might need to get the market bus.
Next one. I'd swap all the hospital oxygen with helium.
That's pretty good.
That's a good
pretty
one.
good.
That's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Next one. I'd take a fat shit on that one sacred Himalayan mountain that no one's allowed to climb. 1-0 Nepalese. Suck on that.
There's a theme emerging throughout all these answers.
This is every time I ask our audience a question, it's always I'm going to denigrate something really
teabag shit.
very important to something
Yeah.
else.
So often they just admit to crimes as well. Like really
Often,
heinous shit.
often
What's the kind of person who recognises you in the street from this podcast?
it's like me, but with no talent. same hairstyle.
yeah,
Yeah.
They always wearing a polo shirt.
yeah.
Big Ruggers fan.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But like exactly the same personality as me. They just never made a TikTok account. They never
Yeah.
uploaded anything.
Do you ever get embarrassed by the people who recognise you in front of friends?
Worst fans. I hate them.
I have some great fans. I've been embarrassed. I was once with another comedian. That's when it's always embarrassing. And this guy came up, and he was a pilot in the RAF. I was like,
Yeah.
that's kind of interesting. And so I was just small talking with him. He's saying he was a big fan of the podcast. They go, oh, you like stationed in Ukraine and stuff? He's like, yeah, we're out there. And it's like, I got World War III. He's like, I don't know what we're doing in Ukraine. I think we should be blowing fucking dinghies out the channel. I was like, oh my God. In front of someone else, I've had an RAF pilot say he wants to blow dinghies out the channel. Anyway, love the podcast. See you later.
It's getting a hard one to come back from that.
I think he's got a point.
Yeah. Waiting to get that outrage.
Next one, bit of munging.
What's that?
Heard of this?
Munging. I think we've
munging?
mentioned it once in the history of this podcast, but I'm more than happy to provide another
Yeah.
account. So, munging is an activity that you can do with a mate, and it involves digging up a recently deceased obese woman.
Is that not munting?
No, munging.
Is that the end of the activity? Just
So it's
digging her up?
necrophilia.
No. So it's you or your mate, depending on who pulls the long straw, will.
So we can only be two of you.
We'll
Is there
put-
a ceiling on two, or can you do it with a group of seven?
I think it's got to be pairs.
Fine.
When you say pull the long straw, is that implying that the short straw is the one who doesn't get to
Yeah.
fuck the corpse?
Yes. So the winner of the coin toss will put his mouth over the box of said woman, and then the other guy takes a big run up and does a sort of like a bomb onto her stomach.
You're talking like an elbow drop, a cannonball. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm talking like you're jumping into a pool on holiday. You sort of
And
jump,
it's the sort of
and it
comes out.
all these sort of juices of
making me feel
How recently deceased are they?
The longer the better, is it?
fresher the better.
Fresher the
I would say.
better.
Because
yeah.
otherwise
I'd
you're just
imagine-
doing it to
yeah.
like a skeleton, just
Yeah,
dust.
he's going to get
Yeah.
dusted.
Yeah.
bone.
Yeah,
it's
true.
true.
I imagine
Bone.
that's what munging's not about.
It's not what munging's about. That's not munging.
That's not munging.
It's a good argument for burials.
It's just not cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one.
I would recommend doing this at night.
Yeah.
If there's any mungers out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, you really have to get a really good mate in on this, I think.
Yeah.
But you have to, maybe like you guys could probably do it. But if it was someone like I just met, I probably wouldn't bring it up.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. You had to have
And
it.
yeah, so all the juices would flow out and into your mouth. That's like necrotizing fasciitis, a bit of sputum.
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 Vladimir Sputum.
A bit of sputum, a bit of mucus maybe, and of course vaginal fluid.
Of course.
Of course.
Let's not
Let's not
forget
forget.
the kind of the bread and butter of this.
Vaginal
fluid.
Once again, not sure if it's a crime. Next one.
Almost certain it is.
Definitely, I think it's a crime. Yeah.
I don't think anyone's ever been indicted on munging charges, have they?
Has anyone ever
It is
done
a
it?
crime. Munging is probably
Yeah.
a
It
crime.
might have been
Grave
like,
digging, is it?
yeah,
Well,
something
grave
you do
robbing.
after the grave
Yeah, but
digging to celebrate.
we put it
Yeah.
back. We're not
It's
taking.
desecrating the dead.
You put it back.
We're not taking.
Fine. Have at her.
We're not taking anything. Next one. I'd rob a bank and then I'd open a cash ISA with a competitive interest rate. I'd buy 2 houses, one to live in and one to rent out in order to cover my expenses. And I'd never have to work another day of my life. This guy knows what he's on about. Remember, your cash ISA has a hard limit of £20,000 per year. And the competitive ones, I'd recommend AJ Bell. Next,
Wait, is that, what was the
Financial advice.
what was the crime there?
robbing the bank.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So he robbed the bank and then he put that money in a competitive ISA.
Right. So he was a
Very
thrill
practical.
seeker, kind of mad man to get the money, and then
also-
incredibly sensible with his investments.
Investment
Yeah.
portfolio.
That's pretty nice to be able to switch it.
Stick
like
it in
that.
there. In 5 years, you'll have a marginal profit. It's good. It's good. Wheeze that. I'd probably do this one so far, or the munging. Next one, I'd move to China and train years and years in their highly rigorous table tennis academy system until I'm good enough to play 3rd Division Czech Republic table tennis. I would then get the largest Wonga loan possible and put it all on myself to lose on a dodgy Russian betting site. Profit.
What was the crime again?
There was zero
Betting
crime
on yourself.
involved in there. But betting,
Betting
on yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Throwing Czechoslovakia.
But training in China just to lose in Czechoslovakia.
This
To build himself up as a prospect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
I see.
They've got a competitive system out there. You can become
Yeah.
a system player and then, get into the big leagues of Czech Republic,
that-
3rd Division.
You've been out in China quite a bit, don't you? You speak Chinese, don't you?
Way
Yeah. And are you a big ping pong guy? Is ping pong big out there?
is ping pong big, mate. Just look what it's called. Of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
Yeah, they love.
Well, he didn't found it, ping pong.
We did.
No, he didn't. There wasn't a guy called Ping Pong who came up with it, right?
Oh, I thought it was one of those games you name after his.
No.
Is there a difference between table tennis and ping pong?
There's definitely a difference between whiff waff and ping pong.
Whiff Waff is for dinner tables.
Yeah, whiff waff is the OG form of the game.
That's
it's
like one of my
Victorian
nicknames of a
after
speech
dinner game.
impediment friend.
Yeah.
I got that the odd time.
No, whiff waff is when you put a net up on your dining table and have a game.
Yeah. Don't you agree it's quite embarrassing that China's national sport is ping pong?
It is a
It's
bit
table
shit.
version of a different sport. And that's your number one sport. They could be the best at anything.
They're best at everything.
They're not the best at football.
Well, they're the best at ping pong and diving, and that's almost everything.
No one gives a fuck about that, though. That's such
Either
an
of them.
embarrassing thing to be good at.
Yeah.
It's like being the best at table football. It's like,
That
or
is
like
true.
finger skateboarding. It doesn't.
That's a real thing, isn't it?
What's the biggest Wonga loan you can take out? Because your profit is very limited by.
To the financial corner. I haven't got a clue.
And over to Andrew with the business
Yeah.
news.
£1 million.
The likes of Wonga that were sponsoring like Blackpool Football Club. I don't feel like there's big money in that.
Yeah, and also it's the size of the loan is not based on how big the company is. It's how much money you make.
Yeah, but I feel like the more sort of prestigious ones will be doing better than that.
Oh, so you think he should shoot a bit higher and maybe get a loan from like the Chinese government?
Yeah, maybe go for that.
Which is totally doable under the rules. I mean, he wrote that in. Right. And now the last one I thought
Quite a long segment, this one, actually.
I thought this would be a nice way to wrap up the segment. The last question, Ball. What crime would you commit if you got a free one? Finger my ass on the tube. So there we go.
People get away with shit like that.
Yeah, but it's still a crime.
I'm pretty sure I've done that.
Yeah,
I saw a video of someone just taking a piss on the seat.
I've definitely
I've seen that.
I've definitely scratched my ass on the tube. Like, at what point?
Have you slipped the
Scratching
finger?
become fingering.
Well, the finger might have slipped in there. You never know.
I
Do you
think
do it
if you're
over
doing
the
it-
pants or within?
I think it's
Of course
underpants.
within.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd have to sort of pierce the film.
Yeah, I think for
Yeah.
a finger in the arse sexual kind of thing, it has to be inside the pants.
But also, I think you could easily get away with this. Maybe you get a free crime as well. Maybe that doesn't count as one because I'm also not sure if that's illegal. As long as you don't show it. As
you
long
can
as you don't.
finger your ass on the tube on the way to the other crime that you're going to commit.
I guess if you're doing it while making contact with a woman, I believe that's probably.
Staring.
Yeah,
if you're
on the
looking
side.
at her,
I wouldn't show it to anybody else. That's why I'm really doing it for me.
I think you probably
Yeah.
would get away with it then if you're just fingering your own ass. Have at it.
Yeah. So then,
definitely
so then
ways
this
to
guy
get away
can
with
finger
it.
his ass on
Now,
the tube.
if you're looking at someone in the reflection of the tube window, is that sexual harassment?
There's intent there.
But then, do
Yeah.
you get less time for that because you're using, you know, you can see in the reflection.
That's a good question.
Like you're sitting next to her and you're using reflection there, and then you're going at it. I don't know.
We'll have to do an experiment
Take us out to the field.
where one of us will do it in the
Yeah.
window.
See who gets
Locked
longer.
eyes.
Yeah, see-
gets longer and show.
yeah. So if there are any women out there who are up for that, we need 2 women.
2 volunteers.
2 volunteers. We'll be the arse tamperers, and we'll have a good old experiment. Anyway, that brings the end of the segment. It's the end of the show. Thank you, lads, so much for
Thanks
coming.
so
Thank you very much for having
Rufus.
us.
And Aidan, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out the lads pilot, which I don't know the title of actually.
No,
Fuck.
what is it called?
We came up with it the other day.
We're trying.
Fuck.
Boys Gone Wild trying their best, I believe. We're just doing it because we enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
We didn't. It was amazing making it because we didn't have to ask anyone for anything. Every time I've done anything where there's money involved or anything like that, there's so many edits, but it's literally every decision. We didn't have to ask anyone for it, so it's been absolutely.
Yeah, it's been like our podcast. Should we edit that out?
Nah, of course not. Leave it in. So
It is
do
fucking
check it
great.
out.
Rufus sent me the link earlier. I was watching it. It is
Oh,
class.
thanks
It's very
very
well
much.
done.
Thank you.
Like,
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, me too.
Now,
So make sure you check out their untitled.
they're untitled EP.
pilot. but no,
If it's currently out.
if it's out,
if it,
might not be.
it might not be out.
And if it isn't, don't bother. Don't wait for it. Live your life.
Yeah.
And on that note, we'd like to end it there. Thank you so much for watching every week. We are back. The unstoppable waterfall of content. We never push back against the tide. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, rate 5 stars on Spotify because I think Prodigy C did that once on his podcast.
Oh, fucking through the roof.
Nobody even listens to that, and it went shot straight up the charts. So make sure you do that. Love your Prodigy. And back to you in your house.